guys, it's Mark for the end stage on the RAMINATOR brushless conversion in 2x80S. It's 36S, but it's 2x80S. 2 SC, 2 motor, 2 battery pack. And I want to show you how we did this to fit easy and nice truck without destroying the image from the RAMINATOR. That means we have nothing. We have in there 2 big motors, 2 big ESC, and 2 times in total 6 6S batteries in the truck, and we do it so you don't will see anything from the outside. First of all, we go underneath there to show you what we have done. If I can, sorry. A little bit too much movement here. So, look at here. This is the only thing you see in the front and in the rear. That's the bottom of the battery tray. We put the battery straight away. And I want to explain you after that why we do this. There's many reasons. In the front we do it to the front, in the rear we also do it to the front. I first want to do a V-shape, but regarding the fact that we want to have the most of the weight in the front from the car, we have done this way. And also from the upper side you will see why. So we go up. Still there? Yes. So look at from the upper side, you see nothing big. You see here the light post, but we can do just using a little Lexan sheet here, something up there, so we don't see anything anymore from the batteries. But we first want to see what the owner's gonna try for battery. This is not my truck. I get this truck here to convert it in brushless before RAMINATOR brand do it just themselves. And we work on our project, meanwhile the RAMINATOR brand work on his project, and he decided to go for a clutch with the brushless motor, but there he goes wrong. He goes 8S because it's easy to have an 8S system, but there who is go wrong is with the KB. This setup was done regarding the fact that the original motor pulls out 8000 RPM to go to 45-50 km/h. With the low gear, with the speed gear, you can reach a little bit more. The 80cc can go to 55-60 km. So we undergeared one more time the brushless motors. We use no clutch. We put a gear reduction more instead of the clutch, so we gear down. That in fact our total RPM was come down to the same 8000 RPM for go same speed, and 10,000 for go faster, 12,000. We can go wherever we want with these brushless motors. I put 2 360 kV motor because regarding our calculation and our gear reduction it will be fine. I tested in the Losi 5T, 20 kilograms, ADS. I was able to drive 85 km/h with a runtime from 50 minutes with this battery. Here we don't want to hit such a high speed, and it's clear, so we have more runtime. And you see it at the second run, we have here 40 minutes playtime. Okay, we have a lot of battery on board, we have 5600 milliamps, but drive 40 minutes a 40 kilogram heavy car with 50 km/h because of the second one. The first one we drive about a third from the power we have. The second one we ran it the same speed as two-stroke to show the difference. We have same speed, but from 0 to top speed we need 2 meters, and the two-stroke engine need way more. We was also able with this system, because we have a direct drive, to go the way even the official conversion kit cannot go. That means we can go super slow speed. We can even crawl with this baby, and this is really nice. This is what I love by the brushless things, is even that. So I think I have the zoom on. No, I'm really, this car is so big. My basement is too small. So yeah, we are able to drive slow. The most of the question was about, would the transmission case hold on this way, because we have direct drive, we have the motors constantly in contact, so the normal time with a brushless, if you brake on the motors, but it's gonna stress a lot the main gear. And I think it's really nice to have the real looking brake here on the axles. That's why we kept the mechanical brake and we put no brake on the motors. So if you let the throttle go for brake, the motor has no RPM, so less stress here. You brake here at the main transmission, and the transmission has just to go against the the kinetic energy from the motors. That's really less. For be sure to nothing happens, we use the FG main gear made from plastic. Yeah, you hear it right, we have a plastic main gear in there with 4 rubbers, like a crush drive. We use that in first to see if it's gonna break, when does it break, and then decide to go to something other. We have already here a steel main gear with no crush drive, and guess what? Nothing happens. I drive this thing 40 minutes for 0 to 50 in 1 or 2 seconds. I hit hard the throttle, I hit hard the brake, I jump it, I crawl it. I have absolutely no problem with this main gear. You also see it in the second video where I present this project. Oh, sorry. I come back, this is the post, and I have some package waiting for me. Oh, sorry guys. So, we used an alloy clutch to put instead of the original motor clutch. Not a clutch. How I say, I forget the word, guys. Just such a thing made of alloy and round. We put a bearing more behind that. We made an adapter shaft to go from the clutch system back in the bearing, and on there just 2 flat ends to put the main gear on, because on FG it's like a big motor pinion. It's just bolted with 2 screws from left to right, locked at the axle. We put the 2 motors on 2 slides, so we can change anything. We have now main gear from 46 and 2 motor pinion from 20. We can go down to 38, and we can go up on the motors to 26 or 28. So we can win here still 30% more than what we have now. Then we have 2 360 kV motor, because I like this motor. This baby in 24S can pull out 30,000 watts each. That means we have 26 kilowatts in this car. That means 33, 35 horsepower for 14 kilograms. That's way more than what we need, but when we do that and not using the full power, we have what we get at the second run: a big run time and no heat issue. We have no cooling. The motor, we have outside temperature from 25 degrees Celsius. The motor was easy by 40 degrees. The AC was by 35. The battery packs was by 35. And after 40 minutes, I even not have the cutoff from the battery. I have a Esdt Shocks shaft, because I was a little bit too rude with the car. What happens after 40 minutes also is that the receiver battery, 5000 milliamp, was also down, just from the servo, from the steering servos and for running the fans for the ESC, but this is little consumption. I think the servos, steering servo eats the most of the power. So after that we was happy with the run. We know our system is okay. Then I gear it up underneath in the gearbox. I put the high gear from the RAMINATOR brand, which you get with the car. You get three sets with the cars. You have a low gear, medium gear is already mounted, and a high speed gear. I put the high speed gear, and so now we are 30%. We get out 30% more RPM than what you see at the second run. That means we reach normally now the top speed we want to get since beginning. That means 60-65 kilometers an hour, not more. To be clear with you guys, I have so much power in the truck, I can put this truck to 100. We don't gonna try it because I don't want to destroy the gearings. I don't know if the tires are gonna blow up or not, and it's not my truck, so I don't gonna do it. So how I say, I can now gear up at the motors 30%, and I can go up to 500 kV because the 500 kV SSS motors also hold on ADS. It means I can win 30% at the gearing and 30% at kilovolts going out from the truck. So I can go crazy with this truck, but it's not the goal. The goal is to have a long-lasting stuff, easy to maintain, and easy drivable. For the run, for the test run, we had 4 batteries here in the back at this high here. So the battery was there, and we have 4 packs in the rear. We only have 2 in the front, and you see it when I go on heavy ramps. The truck was lose way too fast the front, and we overroll back. So we go forward with the battery. We have only 3 in the back, we have 3 now in the front, so we have 800 grams more in the front, and we lower the whole from about 60%. The battery was there, now they are there, and you only have the volume from 1 battery at the high from the old setup. It was not a definitely setup, it was just a test setup. It was I just put the battery in with Velcro straps everywhere I can to fit it in to go drive. So we are on a Wednesday. Saturday the owner from this truck came to come to me, and we're gonna run it. I don't gonna show you now, just wanna make some static run here to show you how it performs from sound wise and how easy it is. Because what I have done here is that I have done 2 shafts for slide the battery in. And if you wanna charge this whole pack, you have 2 easy solutions. First, you unplug the positive and negative wires, put on the Velcro straps, and slide all the 3 battery out, letting the battery together. Because I make a U-form here, slide in, I make 2 different U-form for go from under and up the battery. From under, for one reason, you have here the bolts in the chassis, and I don't want the battery to be destroyed by the bolt. So making this the battery fully protected from anything. They cannot slide left, right, they cannot go forwards, backwards, they cannot go down or up. So nothing can happen to this battery. So you can slide the whole thing out. Then just plug here if you wanna charge serial your wires in your serial wires, or you can unplug here these 3, and you can go to your parallel board. I know it's way easier to put a serial system to go plus minus plus minus plus minus, and just put the last plus and the last minus back to the ESC. I have here 1 pack for the front, 1 pack for the rear. I know if you do that, you have anytime 1 motor using a little bit more amps than the other, so 1 battery pack will always go more faster down than the other one. If you want to do this easy, you do serial wiring and white pack, serial the second, and go parallel and parallel back to the both ESC. So you have 18S 12,000 milliamp running to 2 ESC and 2 motors. That's the better wise, but the owner from this car has many other cars. And he wanted to use this battery also. He has 1/8 kilowatt drive just only with 6S. He has cars who runs only 12S. I have an MTXL. We're gonna pull an 18S, and we're gonna make in the MTXL maybe the same slide system, so you can just put one pack in the MTXL. So you can do one run with the RAM, or you can pull 2 pack with the MTXL. He also can make 3 12S setup for the other cars he had, because that's not a truck you're gonna drive anytime. That's why. In either case, I would do a way easier and faster wiring system than that. But we have to think here usable at many stages. So, and the other thing, if it would be my truck, I know I only drive it brushless, I pull it brushless, so I will change anything I need to put in brushless, non-reversible. I'm gonna put some hole more in the chassis, change something in the chassis, made that or that plate a little bit different to better fit my electronics. But the owner from the car wants this to be reversible, so if he's bored from the brushless and wanna go 2-stroke again, he can easily pull it out. He has 4 screws to pull out to put the whole brushless system with the shaft, with the gear, with the motors out from the truck. Only 4 bolts. And then he has only to bolt on the 2-stroke engine. For put the battery packs away, also for the easy maintenance, for put the battery pack and the ESC away. The ESC are mounted here at also the battery slide. So if you want to pull all out, you just have here 1, 2, 3, 6 screws on each part. Unwire the motor here, and you can put battery slides and ESC out. 4 bolts to put the electric motors out, and then the car is naked to work on it easy and fast. That was the challenge, and I think we mastered it. We also are easy with the wire. I put the receiver in the front, the battery in the front. How I say, to have too much power in the front, weight in the front as possible. And the wire system is also much shorter and easier here. Nothing goes through the truck, all is in the front, because we have the shift servo here, the brake servo is here, the steering servos are here, so I really think that receiver and that stuff is better in the front. And the 2-stroke version is absolutely normal. There is in the back, because you have here the tank, you have here the pole to start the car. You don't need to put the body away on the 2-stroke version. And the electric, you put anyway the body away to change, to slide your battery on, out or in. I would be maybe able to make this from underneath, but I want to keep the outside look from a real monster truck. And if you look at the Bigfoot with the electrical version, you will see that the battery are also mounted, so the back, front and rear. And I find it really funny to do here the same thing. So now we're gonna short start it. Put radio system on, put receiver battery on, put power on, and then you can just, easy as you want. That's normal with that power. It always has a little spark when you go too fast. You can, we have 2 ESC, but you can put it outside, inside, how you want. They synchronize without any problem. They are really smooth also to begin to drive. Then hit one time channel 3, because we still have the fail-safe system. That means if you lose the radio system, the power on the transmitter, the car will break full power and stop. If we lose the power on the electric, the ESC will just shut off the motor power and let the car roll out. So nothing bad can happen. It's also a truck we drive in big area and not in the wood or something, so it can hit nothing. So in here you will see I'm still able to start really slow. Look at. You see? So now I'm gonna go to the speed we had before I put the bigger main gear in there, and then I will show you the difference what we have more. And I'm really excited to go run this thing to show to see what really we have on more power and if it's will be better, because with the 50k it's a little bit boring on the field. It was fun, but we mess a little bit of speed, and I think with that end speed we will be fine on the straight lines. You hear it a little bit more. We have here is 20-25% more. We're gonna go out at the top speed. I hope that's normally what we want. So I want to also say hello and thank you to the RAMINATOR brand's owner, because I leave him a message on when I showed him some parts, because to do that I just order 2 chassis brace more to put here underneath the battery slide. All the rest is from the truck. As I bent 1 shock shaft, I order a shock shaft by him, and he sent it really super fast, and we have no issue with Texas. So a really cool guy, nice in touch, and thank you for this baby, because it's clear. It's always easy one time something is done to say, oh, that could be better, that could be better, I want to change this, I want to change that. But regarding something, you don't, you have to keep in mind, guys, it's he has done the job. No one other than him has done this big fat baby, put it on the market, and be there for, because many brands don't want to do something because they exactly know that people are gonna have some destruction or something. But it's a monster truck. It's like in a real car. If you go wrong, you destroy something here beneath. If you look Monster Truck Challenge in real scale, if they going too hard on motor, they blow out the gaskets. If they going too hard on the gear, they put out the gear. They bend some shock shaft. They destroy some link. They destroy some housing and all the stuff. The only thing I really think out from the box is that we should get Esdt Shocks out from the box, and I hope that will come an upgrade at the shock shaft, like titanium threaded or something, because they are a little bit too soft. I don't do a too wild thing, but I really fast bend the shock shaft. But how I say, it's like on a real car. If you're sitting on a cross bike, do something wrong, you destroy yourself. So think on the same. Would you do all that if you was sitting in the car? And if it's clear, it's bigger money to spend, but it's a big car and you have to think on all that. If I had thinking something, I really sure that I was not able to pull this out the way it works, and I would have many more problems. So thank you to do that awesome car, and we're gonna do some more fancy stuff like there. Maybe I want to use the clutch. I want to test the clutch. That's something I forget. Yeah, the clutch system with 1 motor is okay, but you have to think less kV. You have to go down. You have to use the SSS 240 kV motor and go up with the S using Flyer Snack ESC 60s. They do now for cars this baby here, 60s ESC, well shaped, and use one motor with 60s with 240 kV will be much easier as put big 8S battery in there because of the heat. We can drive this baby 8S, but in 8S you need water cooling on the motor seat, you need water cooling DSC, and what happens with the battery? After 10-15 minutes the battery runs hot. If you just drive a show like, it's not an issue, but you have to think that most of the people drive it not show like, but like competition monster truck like. So we are hard on the throttle, and I'm by the way to buy myself a RAMINATOR and take a clutch system, but I want to go for one motor RSA, and or they're gonna take one 230 kV in 60s. I'm clearly not gonna have the power I have here. Here we have really overpowered truck. We have do something at the second test run. I weight 190 lbs. I go myself on the truck. I go on the throttle, and the truck still hits his. First of all, he has no struggling to power up. In 2 or 3 meters was to top speed, and he gets to the same top speed with me sitting on the top. I find 90 kilograms. So we have clearly too much power, but this is monster trucking, baby. The other question I ask myself is, should I use here, because what's nice is the reverse system mechanical, the brake system mechanical, so we can use what we don't use. We don't need ESC who has too much amp. I have here an Aircraft 24S ESC. If I use only one motor, should I use a TP100L? It's a big motor, but we can easily fit it in. We have all the room we need with the clutch system, using 24S ESC, using 2x12S packs in a serial, because we have also way enough room to put it in the car. I don't know. Or if I do a second one for me, gonna go crazy and put 2x 500 kV with steel ATS each motor, high speed gear, smaller main gear, bigger motor pinion, and make real fat speed runs. I don't know. One way I want to go crazy. For the other way, I think for myself, what should I do myself with a RAMINATOR? I have not here the right terrain to use it, and it's not like in America here. We not all drive big pickups with big trunks. I have a little Opel car, and if I put that in my trunk, the car is full. Me at the steering, battery packs and radio system at passenger side, and all the rest from the car would be the RAMINATOR. Or should I put it on the roof to make some nice publicity to RAMINATOR? Guys, if you have one, tell me what have you done with the car. Oh, something over about the shock, yeah. Two other way to make suspension for your truck, or we're gonna go here for 8 original shock. It's clear. We're gonna put out the springs from the second shocks because the springs are too hard. Even with the 4 shock, the truck is a little bit too hard, but it's easy to drive that way, so we're gonna let it that way for beginning until the owner is avoid to his car, and then we're gonna maybe go softer to have a realistic look. So another way to make the suspension from the car is using Traxxas X-Mex shocks. They are shorter but it's not an issue because stock out from the box the car is really super high, and we drive it at this high. That's why I threaded out here the shock springs. When I drive, I'm here, and so I have enough free play, so the car is really, you see, nice and soft. Here, see, look at, it really moves nice in suspension. That's way more nicer. If you use 8 X-Mex shocks, you can use the titanium shock shaft, you can use the Proline shock shafts. Just make here a little plate. If you want to be a little bit higher in the ride height, if you want to go down, it's not an issue. They are 220 millimeters long. It means that long. It's enough. You can use Proline reservoir shocks if you want to be a little bit more smoother than the original X-Mex shocks, but they are really super smooth. You have for the X-Mex also, you have from Traxxas 3 or 4 spring sets. You have from Hot Racing harder springs. You have from Proline harder springs, so you can really, I think, match the setup for the car. That's the second reason, because I may be gonna catch one. And if you're gonna go crazy, take the MTD Esdt shocks. But take care, when you see the price, you may be gonna fall out from your seat, because one pair of these shocks at the same length that the X-Mex shocks costs 450 euros for 2 shocks. That means 900 euro for 4 shocks and 1800 euro, the half of the price from the truck, for 8 shocks if you want to go really crazy with 8 shocks. But maybe 4 are enough, but for the look, maybe I'm gonna hold on 2 original shocks without spring, without oil in there, just to say I have 8 shocks, because it's really look nice with 8 shocks. The Esdt shocks, imagine Losi 5 rear shocks, just 220 millimeter long, and with a big reservoir. And these shocks are the only one on the market. These are real 2-pass adjustable shocks. You can adjust the load or the unload. That means if you tighten the load screw, you can squeeze easy the shock together, then you let it go, it comes back really slow. And if you unscrew the load screw and screw the unload screw, it's gonna be super hard, super stiff to go together, but come back really easy. That means you can really adjust the shock, that the car can land really soft and bump out easy, and looks like more like a real monster truck. With this suspension setup, it looks like more like an old school monster truck when you're riding. I love it. I really love this. But yeah, more power. Esdt shocks sounds really good for me. It's gonna be heavy in money. It's gonna be costful, but I would say many times, for the French people who don't understand it, or the Germans, is many people tell me, oh, you have a lot of money. No, I just invest all my money in there, and I drive an old piece of crap of Opel car. Vauxhall, in America it's a Vauxhall car. I get it really super cheap. My car costs less than an X-Mex. Many people drive big cars, big BMW, Mercedes, they have big motors, coastful cars, 25,000, 30,000, 50, 40, 60,000 euros cars. I drive a car for 200 euro. But the whole rest is in there, here, and this is just a hard piece of work and nothing other. Hope to have news from you. Tell me, I'll say, what did you use? We're gonna show you more videos with this system to show you that the main gear will hold on. And then I want to know from you, did you prefer a clutch? Did you prefer a direct drive? I vote direct drive. But I want to test the clutch drive. Stay tuned, guys.